Hey everybody, Derek here. I wanted to hop on and let you know what you're about to listen to. This is our first Patreon episode. You're like, Patreon episode? I didn't know they had Patreon. That's because we just launched it. We launched it last week, and I wanted to put out the first episode so you guys could hear it and be like, oh, I'm excited about Patreon. What do I do for Patreon? What's a Patreon? All those questions are answered if you go to patreon.com/Munster Hunters. Or if you want more information, you can also go to our website. It's a website, and I can talk. It's munsterhunters.com. And there's a Patreon link up top. Or you can always follow us on Twitter at Munster Hunters, or on Facebook at Munster Hunters, on Instagram at Munster Hunters. You can check out our YouTube at a bunch of gobbledygook that will one day be Munster Hunters. But this is the first one. We're going to talk about the Unaired Pilot from the Munsters from 1960, whatever, 3 or 4. There's no Lily. There's a Phoebe. And boy, Eddie is something else. But yeah, give this a listen and then check out the Patreon. And then next week we'll be back with Season 1, Episode 21. Don't bank on Herman.
Would you come down here? I want to try this jacket on you.
Oh, you can't make me!
Don't talk fresh to your mother, and stop playing with that noose.
Leave me alone! Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Don't touch me! Let me go! Don't touch me! You never let me have any fun! I'm gonna hold my breath and turn myself back into a toad! You're always picking on me, too! You never talk that way to Marilyn!
Just never you mind about Marilyn. Now, you must remember that she's not as fortunate as the rest of us. Try this jacket on.
I won't! I hate it! It says I...
All right, then you're going to go right upstairs and get into bed. And don't forget to close the lid.
Hello. Welcome to a Patreon episode of the Munster Hunters. The only show that dares to shun millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, endless, infinite, a number, just so much good streaming content to sit back and revisit a 60-year-old unaired pilot of a TV show that's for a 60-year-old sitcom about a Frankenstein monster and his grotesque family. My name is Derek, and I'm a Munster Hunter. Joining me at the Frankenstein-headed table, as always, for the special occasion is Keith.
Hello. I'm Keith. I am also a Munster Hunter.
And across from Keith, staring daggers at him for some reason, is the Dr. Dre of Kansas, Terry.
Hello, yes. I've kind of changed my tune here. I only watch, 60-year-old television shows and unaired things that have never even reached air.
Yes. What a beaut. But before we talk about that, how y'all doing today?
Oh, not too bad, Just been kind of hanging out. I was kind of excited to dive into some, mysterious, like before the Munsters, what were they like in the primordial ooze? That is a pilot, but, yeah. Well, we'll get into it, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
I've been relaxing in a vat of primordial ooze all day today, so
yeah.
I'm feeling good.
Exfoliates.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of like the sensory deprivation tank thing, but with primordial ooze.
Oh, I think the Bacta tank. Most recently seen on Boba Fett.
That's for later after this, that to recover after hunting.
Float in primordial.
It's to heal the emotional scarring, I think. Yeah.
After we go hunting, I gotta heal up. So
sure. Oh,
how about you, Derek? What have you been up to?
Yeah,
man, just sitting here waiting.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Been here since our last adventure several days ago. Just staring at the wood paneling in my basement. wondering when you guys will answer the Zoom call. And here we are.
Yeah, I always think it's weird. Yes, as soon as we leave the Zoom call, you send out the Munster signal again.
Yep.
And it's like, he wants us back already.
And you message. You always like, do I need to answer? I'm like, no. Just normal time next time. I like to be ahead. I like to be ready.
Did you forget to tell us something, Terry? Does he want us back on there? No.
We have another. We're supposed to record another episode.
Hey Terry, it's been out for 4 days. You think he's okay?
You better jump in here and check. Yeah.
If it goes off, then we know we got to come check on it. That's what it really means.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here, falling asleep, much like Herman was doing, waiting for the ham radio call.
Yeah.
And then I hear, hello, are you there? What? Yeah. I got an alarm clock set. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he just goes right as soon as we answer the call. Yeah, it's like, hey everybody, welcome to the Munster Hunters.
Yep.
Like, oh, we're in. Okay, cool.
And I'm recording that whole time too.
Oh God,
man, the download of that.
Run out of memory. Yeah.
That's for the extra Patreon level.
It's just a bunch of snoring and sleep farts. Yeah.
Little sleep farts, nice.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, what else can it be? I mean, if I'm not Munster Hunter, I'm doing this, and if I'm not doing this, I'm doing a Patreon. This, holy cow! So this is the first ever Patreon. So if you're listening to this, well, you're probably hearing it in the main feed as an appetizer, a tease. Hey, there's Patreon stuff going on.
That's right.
But it is an opportunity. And today, because it's too magnificent for our main feed, we're going to talk about the Unaired Pilot that was filmed by Universal Studios to shop the Munsters. Holy shit, this thing came out was filmed in, 63, probably? 64?
Yeah. Sometime been there, I'm sure. It's old. It's so old. But in some ways, it looks more modern because it's like in color and everything.
It's in color, yeah. It's only 15 minutes, and it is entitled My Fair Munster, which was episode 2 of season 1.
Which I've always found it weird that they just that their Natural Then Pilot episode wasn't just My Fair Munster, and just okay, here's what we're actually showing from day one. But
I mean, it was unaired, so no one knew.
Yeah, no one. I guess just now looking back and knowing that that's kind of what they pitched for the first episode as opposed to what they actually went with.
Yeah, but I mean, they did this. They had Fred Gwynn still,
Yep,
and he looks weird as hell.
Yes, he does.
Makeup is very off.
Mm-hmm.
They had Al Lewis.
Yep,
who looks weird as hell in color.
Oh, he looks so weird. Yeah.
But not that much different. Herman looks a lot different.
Grandpa still got the grandpa thing.
Yeah, and again, pilot. So they were like, "Hey, this is the concept we're going with," and it's obviously they got notes back that maybe you need to make Herman more Frankenstein monsterish.
I think more friendly looking.
Yeah, well, I think he's bigger and bulkier in the actual show as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little more of like a shell around him, I think.
He looks like more cartoony, I'd say. Whereas in this, he looks like a normal man with a Frankenstein's head.
Yeah,
and it's he's so slim, like his neck and stuff. It just was like, that seems weird.
Looks like Ross from Friends dressed up as Frankenstein.
It does kind of. Yeah, you're right. And we also have Beverly Owen, right?
Oh yeah, she's back. Yeah.
Looks just as lovely in color as she does in black and white.
Yeah, and probably the best actor out of the lot.
Yep.
And then we had not Lily, but Phoebe, who looks like Morticia.
Yeah, she looks a lot like that.
Mm-hmm. She does.
She's got kind of a different vibe going on. Yeah. There's some things I like about Phoebe, but for the most part, I prefer Lily a lot more.
Yeah.
I kind of thought based on the trailer that came out a bit too that it was the Sherry Moon Zombie. It almost felt like Lily is maybe got a little bit of the Phoebe-ishness to her as well. Just the kind of way that a little bit different way that of saying stuff and things like that in this one. I don't know. I could see why they replaced her with somebody else in this one. I think
that's just a byproduct of Sherry Moon Zombie's acting capabilities.
Yeah. She does have a kind of like that lilt that the Phoebe in this has, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just, it gets kind of, I think it would get old very quick if we just had to hear that.
Accentuated reading is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we heard up top, boy, that wasn't Butch Patrick, was it? That was the feral boy Eddie, played by, what's his name? Happy Durden or something like that? Oh, God, what is his name?
Doesn't seem very happy.
Happy Durman.
Oh, God. What is this? This was, like, offensive to the ears and eyes.
It was. But you know what we should do before we do all that stuff?
Sure.
We should not go down the hallway, not get on the SCUMA, but we're going to play a game. I brought a game today.
I'm excited.
Hold on. Wait, I was already halfway down the hall, Derek.
Well,
Jeez,
Keith,
I
get
get
back.
used to these things. Hold on.
Yeah, he caught me. I was slowly heading to the SCUMA. I wasn't at the door
Hold
yet.
on.
So.
Close the gate. Close the gate. Put the dust back where it was. Okay.
Thank you.
Cobwebs back. All right. Perfect. All right.
Spend all day putting that dust there.
Well, that's what he does too when he's waiting.
Hold on. Let me get the asbestos back in the ceiling. Okay. All right. Perfect.
Excellent. From the Munster Hunters compound in the coastal theme park of Munster Town comes the game where your knowledge of Munster stars could earn you the chance at big bucks and fabulous prizes. Will you walk away with the ultimate Munster Hunters prize pack that could be worth over $50,000? Prepare yourself for another exciting matchup, Munster Musta Been. And now your host, Derek! So the premise is, I am going to read to you a plot synopsis of a movie or a television show that either starred Fred Gwynn, Yvonne DiCarlo, or Al Lewis.
Okay.
And then you have to guess, and I guess this could either be a competition. I didn't think about this.
Ooh, all right.
Who the Munster Musta Been, and you have to say it much like Jeopardy. The Munster Musta Been, Herman. Don't say Fred Gwynn because I don't recognize that name.
Gotcha.
Don't say Yvonne DiCarlo because I don't know who that is. Don't say Al Lewis or Grandpa Al Lewis because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But you need to say the Munster Musta Been blah, right? Okay. And then whoever gets it right gets a point. And then you can even get an extra bonus point if you can give me the name of said movie and or show. You should probably get like 5 bonus points for that.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. First one, ready?
Wait, so how are we gonna? So we're competing. So how do we buzz in? How do we?
I don't think we buzz in. I think you could just say it, right?
Say
like,
okay.
I'll go, Terry. What are your thoughts? Keith, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I see. And then we'll
and then whoever gets it gets a point, right?
Okay, makes sense.
Right.
Perfect.
Here we go. Plot synopsis number 1. Career criminal Frank plans a bank heist and sends for his buddies to help pull the job. Before his buddies arrive, he's caught, forcing his cohorts to pull the job alone. Frank soon escapes, setting off a search by the bumbling cops.
You know what? I'm gonna go. Don't
forget, Munster Musta Been.
Munster Musta Been Grandpa Munster. That's my guess.
Keith?
Munster Musta Been Herman.
And the correct answer, the Munster definitely was Herman. He played the character Max Green. For bonus points, do we have a movie title?
The Great Escape.
The Great Escape. It was indeed not The Great Escape. It was Disorganized Crime from 1989.
That's a good title. I like that.
I believe it starred Corbin Burnson.
Okay.
All right. You guys got it now? You figuring it out?
So. Yep.
Yes.
And boy, sometimes guessing the title with something outlandish may pay off. Right?
Okay.
Plot synopsis number 2. Junket stewardesses land on a gambling ranch whose owner, played by Bob Livingston, is plagued by hooded riders. Terry.
Munster must have been Grandpa Munster.
Munster must have been Lily.
And The Munster definitely was Lily Munster. She played a character called Honey Morgan.
Ooh,
I'm assuming one of the junket stewardesses. For an extra bonus point, Keith, what's the name of that movie?
Junket Stewardesses?
Junket Stewardesses. That's a good guess. What about you, Terry?
The Hooded Figure. No, wait, the Hooded Riders.
The Hooded Riders. Definitely a good guess as well. The correct response was Blazing Stewardesses.
Oh,
It came out in 1975.
That was a good guess, Keith. You're so
Yeah,
close.
You were close. You were there.
I was getting there.
All right. So here we go. Plot synopsis number 3. An autistic boy who dreams of flying touches everyone he meets, including a new family who has moved in after their father dies. Terry, the Munster Musta Been.
Oh, boy. Well,
You've gone 2 grandpas in a row. Is this the one that's grandpa?
my gut says Grandpa, but how good has that gone for last couple? Not good at all. So you know what? This time I'm going Munster Musta Been Herman.
Oh, good call.
Must have been Grandpa.
The Munster must have been grandpa. The Munster was indeed Herman.
Yes.
He played Uncle Hugo in a movie
Hugo. Ooh.
in 1986. For a bonus point, Terry, do you know what the name of that movie was?
Hugo and Sons.
Hugo and Sons. Keith.
Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery. No. The movie about an autistic boy who dreams of flying was called The Boy Who Could Fly.
God.
1986.
Wow. You know what? I probably could have got that one. Yeah, I should have thought more some more.
Yeah.
Keith, any of you ever seen that movie?
No, I have.
I
not.
have.
No,
And spoiler, at the end, he flies.
Oh, wait, is that the one where he like flies with geese and stuff?
I don't necessarily remember. I just remember.
Okay.
He
No,
walks
that's
out a window
that's
and
the
flies.
that's the Radio Flyer one where they get the wagon to fly.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Plot synopsis number 4. A mobster's wife hates her lifestyle, but gets a chance to change it when her husband is killed if the Long Island mob and the FBI let her. Terry, the Munster must have been...
The Munster must have been Grandpa.
Keith,
The monster must have been Grandpa.
Oh.
the Munster definitely was Grandpa.
Yes.
Grandpa Al Lewis played Uncle Joe Russo.
Oh, whoa.
In what movie from 1988? For a bonus point.
Well, Joe Russo's the name of a famous Marvel director who did, Captain America, the Avengers. Maybe it's a...
I don't think it's the same guy. Maybe not.
Nope.
Wait,
This
really?
is a fictional character.
Oh, well, all right.
Is it Bullets Over Broadway?
Bullets Over Broadway.
Whoa.
The Woody Allen.
No. Okay, no, that's not.
What?
Johnny Dangerously. That's
Johnny
what I was
Dangerously.
thinking. Yeah.
The Woody Allen movie.
No,
No, I don't know. Terry?
Exit Plan.
Exit Plan. I like that title. But it definitely was neither of those. It was Married to the Mob.
Oh,
1988 classic.
Oh, all right.
All right, the final score is 3-2. And here comes the 5th and final question. So, Terry, you can tie it up with this.
Oh, boy. Okay.
2 friends, both named Frank, accidentally obtain a suitcase at the airport. It contains incriminating evidence against a mafia boss who sends his Terminator-like lackey to find them. The Franks hide by impersonating makeup women for a beauty pageant. While in drag, the mafioso falls in love with one of the Franks. The Munster must have been...
The Munster must have been... Oh, the pressure. Oh, the Munster must have been Herman.
Keith?
The monster must have been Lily.
And Keith, you got it right. The Munster definitely was Lily Munster. Yvonne DiCarlo plays a character named Mrs. Ness. Now, I'm going to tell you what. Since this is not... nobody's guessed the title yet. This could be the bonus one here, Terry.
Okay.
Keith's winning 4-2.
Yep.
If you get the title, you get 3 points.
Ooh, okay.
Keith, if you get the title, you get 3 points as well.
Oh, okay. Let me.
So, want me to read the synopsis again?
Yep,
In case you pull something up.
Let's hear it one more time.
2 friends, both named Frank, accidentally obtain a suitcase at the airport. It contains incriminating evidence against a mafia boss who sends his Terminator-like lackey to find them. The Franks hide by impersonating makeup women for a beauty pageant. While in drag, the mafioso falls in love with one of the Franks. That movie was called...
Oh, Let's Be Frank.
Let's Be Frank. Good title. Keith.
The Untouchables.
The Untouchables with Elliot Ness. No, that movie was, of course, The Naked Truth.
Oh,
wow. In 1992. But as a bonus, guess what I have queued up and ready to go?
Ooh, what is it?
The trailer for The Naked Truth.
Ooh, okay.
Guess that. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, boy, it's a doozy. There's a lot of... well, we're going to have to do some talking over this one just to make it... just to fill in the dead space. We'll make it entertaining. Now remember, this is 92. Kill the guy in the bathroom stall.
Oh, my God.
Guys in bras screaming.
It's serious.
Woman in lingerie. Dentist with NO2.
Was that Paul Abdul?
It's very
I don't know.
serious.
Butts.
Whoa.
NO2.
It's a bloody handprint? Oh.
Lots of slapping. Naked.
More nude people. Yep.
I'm sure this isn't Bosom Buddies.
It's very much like
It's
Bosom Buddies.
very, very serious.
It's very, very serious. Drilling into someone's mouth. This trailer was so long and terrible. So we're just gonna skip ahead to where they show the people in the movie.
All right. Credits.
What's funny is they cut these people and
Ooh,
they're
Billy
talking,
Barr.
but they don't have the dialogue.
That was Lou Ferrigno.
Oh,
in there
Yvonne
also.
DiCarlo. There she was.
Eric
Let's go back.
Estrada.
Ready? People can't hear it, but Yvonne DiCarlo, there she
is.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Eric Estrada.
Yep.
Lou
Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno.
Norm
Go
Fell
Boulder.
from Three's Company.
Bubba Smith
Shannon Tweed.
and Little
Little
Richard.
Richard.
We
Jerry
call
said
it
earlier, he goes, "You got any Grey Poop, Bob?"
the naked truth.
Oh, boy.
And
This
you
guy's ate a glass. Wow.
Oh boy!
I think I just
So
saw
I
the
don't
whole
know
movie.
why neither of you had ever heard of that.
Yeah, that seems like a classic.
Oh boy, wasn't it though? Well, that feels like a pretty successful inaugural Munster Musta Been.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. You know what?
I won. I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah, Grandpa, he failed me once again. That's all I gotta say.
You leaned on the grandpa thing too much.
Mm-hmm. You know, yeah, it was. I was overthinking it. I should have just went with my gut. Well, my gut's the Grandpa, so like, what can I say? I don't know what I should have done.
Yeah.
I'm never voting Grandpa again.
Well, if we ever do this again, then I'll make sure it's full of grandpas. All right. You guys ready to talk about this abomination that is a 15-minute, what's it called? Pilot? Like, they made this to sell people on the Munsters.
They did. Yep, this was supposed to convince the studios to let them create a whole 70-some episodes.
Mm-hmm. Or at least 38. Get a season in. Jesus.
I mean, they nominated for Emmy the following year, so
Must have paid off, yeah.
yeah.
Well.
I mean, obviously, from what we eventually see, they got a lot of notes probably given back to them.
Oh, they had to have. They had to have gotten a ton of notes.
Note number 1: ditch the kid.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Eddie
yeah.
needs a change. Well, and the thing is, we don't see Eddie until that bit, and that's the only part we see Ed from Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Because it
Yeah.
opens up a lot like the original My Fair Munster with Marilyn getting dropped off. Like, if you notice, a lot of the script and some of the elements are the same.
Yeah, for sure.
It seemed like most of Herman and Lily's stuff was all exact.
Almost, yeah.
They also don't have. I mean, they don't have the full house put together.
No. But
Oh.
Marilyn does pull up with a date.
Yep.
And she's like, I had a really good time. You should come in, meet my grandparent, or meet my aunt and uncle, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, the guy's like, I don't want to do it. But they do it anyway.
It's also a feel, for me, for some reason, maybe it is because it gets in color or something, but there's like a vibe to this that was actually, I was like, this is a little unsettling, whatever's happening here. Maybe it was unintentional, but I was something about it. I just felt off. Maybe it was just because it's, I've seen it already, but in a different form.
And like, after watching it, I was like, should I watch the one that aired? And I said, nah, I don't want to do that.
I started to watch a bit, and my DVD kind of froze up on me. So I was like, oh, well.
Your DVD froze.
Yeah, I don't know, the DVD player was messing up. I don't know. So I was like, no big deal.
Yeah.
So I will say, like, one real like thing that I did notice throughout this whole thing is when we're normally watching these, and there's there's like dumb stuff going on, I'm kind of all right with it because it's in black and white, and because I'm like, all right, well, this is 60-some years old. A lot of the stuff is probably the first time that some of the stuff was done.
Mm-hmm.
Watching it in color, I'm like, oh no, like this is a lot. This is like really stupid. Why would anybody do this? I don't know if it's because of the fact that it doesn't click to me as much when it's in color that it is so old timey overall. If that makes sense.
I think I agree with
honest,
that.
It doesn't look modern in any way.
No, but I'm able, when it's in black and white, I'm able to go like, oh yeah, this is like we're just learning about sitcom stuff at this point in TV history.
Sure.
It feels older, I guess, yeah.
Or they're trying to shake up the normal sitcom stuff that was out there at the time by doing this weird family.
I think that's the whole point. Like, it's like we're going to do the working man, family man sitcom, but just have them be monsters.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get that. It's funny.
It's a good concept. Like, I feel like the concept alone would be like enough to sell, like, to a studio. Be like, well, that's a good idea. Yeah, sure. It doesn't matter really like how high quality it is. Like, yeah, we'll take the idea and make our own thing with it. Even like, yeah, it's solid. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, one network was like, what if we made them rich, kooky people?
Well, I mean, the Atkins family had a comic strip that they're based on. So,
yes,
that's true. Yeah.
Right. So it's just like anything nowadays. Like, we need new hot property. What if we adapted something from the Sunday paper? Right. Like
Dagwood.
A big board game or something. Right.
Family Circus.
Yeah.
Frank and Ernest.
Frank and Ernest. Yeah.
Yeah, with Al Pacino playing Frank.
What was the one with the like the married couple? It was always a single panel.
Oh, and they're like old. Were they like old and they was always grumpy with each other?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I can't think of what it is though.
I don't remember.
They should make that. That should be the next big thing.
Yes, that should be a movie. A married couple that's grumpy with one another.
Let's get Universal on the line. Be like, hey, we have the next big idea for you. Get a load of this.
The next connected cinematic universe is all old.
The Funny
80s,
Pages. Funny Pages extended universe.
Yes.
Yep. Garfield, the old married couple.
Clifford,
Dagwood.
Garfield, Foxtrot, had all sorts of
Hagrid,
stuff.
or Haggard the Horrible, and Beetle Bailey.
There's
That
no
other
Dilbert.
cat. What was that other cat that was
No
Heathcliff.
Ziggy though.
Heathcliff? Yeah.
No Ziggy?
No Ziggy.
Why not
Let's skip
Ziggy?
him. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I just said no Dilbert because the creator of that's a dill hole.
Oh, is he?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh well,
He's a raging asshole.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Anywho, this isn't Dilbert talk.
No,
This is-
Dilbert Hunters.
Dilbert Hunters, where we hunt down and assassinate all the characters from Dilbert systematically.
I'd watch
No.
that. That's the second biggest idea we've got.
Yeah, if this one fails, but the Patreon for the Dilbert Hunters.
Yeah.
So a handful of things for me with this, right? It's the same premise and storyline as the actual episode. Grandpa makes a love potion, and I'm assuming that's where it ends. The pilot does. And if it would have gone on, and Herman would have drank it, Lily would have drank it. Tiger would have been there, and the neighbor, and who knows? Maybe that's why they didn't have it, because it required more people.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they didn't want to have. They just wanted to have the main cast. Is my guess.
That makes sense. Yeah, you know, the biggest surprise to me was the intro is so different, and the music is so lame compared to what we get in the real
Music
show.
terribly lame.
Yeah,
that's so disappointing.
Grandpa trying to get all up full out kiss, not just going for the not just going for the wrist. He's
it's a kiss on the lips with Phoebe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought he was going to bite her neck.
Well, yeah, he ends up doing that, but it looked to me like they were leaning in to kiss each other, and then he kind of psychs her out and he goes for the neck instead.
Yeah.
Now I don't. So Herman does a thing where so Phoebe goes to, she's like puckered up ready to kiss him, and he just kisses her on the forehead, turns and walks away, and she looks super pissed, and he's like, "Yep," and then spins back around and gives her a kiss, does a whole dip and everything. I thought the dip was a little too much, but I liked that whole he kisses her and he's a little more smug about it, yep, she wants more. And then
I didn't take it that way at all, but okay.
No, she was waiting for this kiss on the lips, and he just gave her that quick peck on the forehead, and then he turns back around knowingly that she's still waiting there for him. And I was like, still it would be great if he went back, gave her a quick kiss, and then turned and did his little giggly smile thing that we've known him for.
Yeah, none of the Herman stuff was Herman, right? They must have told him, hey, you gotta be more goofy or something.
Yeah, he just seems too normal, I guess.
Yeah, because when he goes back for that dip kiss, that's very I want to say it's very Addams Family-ish, right? It's very Morticia and Gomez-y.
And I'm sure at that time enough people between the networks talk. Yeah. And they were probably that's the vibe of the Addams Family thing, so we probably might want to take that out of there. And do something different, which I think they scored big time. It's one of my favorite parts of the entire normal intro is, when he gives her that kiss on the cheek, and then he turns and he's just so giddy that he's so happy that he's with her, and takes off to go to work. It's great.
So, I'm sitting here thinking about this. What's a very different than what was actually aired is the Munsters don't feel as wholesome in this.
No.
Right? Eddie is a feral wolf child that just screams at his parents. I hate you.
Oh, God.
What is that all about?
And is he a wolf child if he's going to hold his breath till he turns back into a frog?
I don't know. It's peculiar in the least. But they're not as wholesome, and Herman doesn't feel, he just, him and Lily are just kind of bickering most of the time.
Yeah, they spent a long time arguing in this. It was at least a third of the episode, it felt like them just talking constantly about, it was just so much. A lot of the segments in this it's a pilot, so I guess it makes sense. But it's all right, we're just buying for time here to, Grandpa's making a potion for 5 minutes. Okay, Lily and Herman are going to argue for 5 minutes.
That was the next thing I was going to say. Another third of the episode was Grandpa down in his laboratory. Which seems like they really were gonna ramp up him being in his lab quite a bit, and doing more stuff, because he's going around, he's turning on all that power, lighting the cigar off an electric rod or whatever it is there, and all those things. I did find so he doesn't put any was it a bit of Frank Sinatra? He doesn't put that into the potion.
Yeah,
but whatever he puts together, he then just throws it into a giant vat anyway. So I'm
yes. He blends it all up in a blender, and it's a thick, viscous red substance, and then he pours that into a giant cauldron. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I like the blender thing. So I think that was in the original as well. I always thought that was funny when they all these strange ingredients, and he just throws it in some modern appliance. But
yeah.
I
do like that when he does that, blend it up. But
I think he did diss some army surplus parts in this as well.
He sure did.
Yeah. Well, he makes the what's the other reference? Elizabeth Taylor reference. He keeps that in
Taylor.
there.
He also goes down the the list of poisons, right? And it's like poison apple, poison banana, poison fruit salad, poison. Well, I didn't want poisons. I want potions. I hate that sort of thing. But
a lot more hand waving and like that weird extra music that they do use seems like I think they did use in a few episodes. I forget, was it the is it the Martian one where they use that like the weird little like a music that's like they don't use any other time during the entire thing?
Oh, they used music for the Sleeping Cutie one, and they used a guitar ditty for the Kentucky folk. But this was a lot of Grandpa waving his hands around and then like mystical like magic music going on to do stuff, which we can see why he's always like so far what we've seen and watching the other thing is him doing a lot of inventions and things in the lab because I think they were really like leaning into that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he also has the he does some magic because he lights the rope that Eddie made a noose out of on fire or sparks it up or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he like pulls the rug out with his hands, waving in the air. Yeah.
Well, he's also eating whatever is in that bowl this time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Still don't know what
popcorn.
That is.
I could tell what it was.
Popcorn?
It looked like it was like black popcorn, like it was painted black or something, and it was moving around like it was in the show. And he's playing checkers with the invisible person, and he like acknowledges the invisible person as well.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn, okay. The invisible person didn't win this time though, and get like jumps and stuff.
Yeah, and I guess so with Phoebe. There's some stuff I did like. I like that she kind of like played up the weirdness. Like it felt like she really nailed like the like creepy stare because she was just doing that the whole time.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was also kind of overbearing at times. I wish they could like blend that more though, because Lily doesn't feel like she has as much like creepiness like involved with her character. Like Herman is always bringing up his weird stuff, and Grandpa's always bringing up his weird stuff. And Lily never feels like she has a quirk, and Phoebe has a lot of quirks, but it is a little much. I wish there's a way to blend it. I think a little bit.
Yeah, find some middle ground or something.
I mean, Lily's biggest thing in the show is that like whatever that sleeping bag jacket thing she likes to wear a lot.
Yes.
Otherwise, she seems like she's just kind of dressed somewhat normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, probably what a 40-some-year-old or late 30s, early 40s like goth lady would dress now. Probably.
I don't know.
Maybe
potentially.
I think the only 2 times that she's been out and people have been like, "Oh, she's weird," was when she went to the car dealership and the guy was like, "Have you ever been in pictures?" Like he thought she would have starred in like some weird late movie.
Yeah.
And then at the campground when the guy's like, "Oh," because she wasn't in a sleeping bag or whatever. That's the only time that people have thought, "Oh, she's strange." Everyone else is just like, "Oh, it's just this woman, Lloyd Munster." Herman, on the other hand, he's always the one. All the other ones go out and about and have their day-to-day life. Now, Herman, and I can't emphasize enough the makeup that is in the pilot for Herman because it looks absolutely hideous. Like it's forehead down, and then his eyebrow kind of comes out, and it's a very large ridged eyebrow. His face is a much darker green than the rest of him, his neck and his ears, and only the tops of his hands are painted. The bottoms of the palms and the undersides of his arms are still unpainted, so
they're not hairy either.
They're definitely not hairy.
No. Yeah, again, it seems like they were like, all right, let's throw this together. We're not going to put you in the chair and do like an hour's worth of makeup in the giant suit and stuff that you're eventually going to hate and have to drink and take painkillers for. Until we know that we're getting this picked up, then that's what you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't. He walks around very normal. He doesn't like
lumber. Yeah.
He doesn't lumber around. And so I did, like I said, I turned on and rewatched the beginning of the actual episode, the My Fair Munster episode, and before the DVD froze up, it stopped when the banger went to kick in. But I remembered it when he opened the door in that one, he kind of just stands there and he's like, has that like, Frankenstein stare.
Mm-hmm.
But then he looks down and sees Marilyn. All of a sudden, like his eyes are like, oh, hey, Marilyn.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, he didn't have that stare as much. He just opened up and immediately looked down. He's like, oh, hey, Marilyn.
Yeah.
And I always liked the other version where like he really comes across creepy and you're like, oh, and that's why the boyfriend takes off running. But then all of a sudden he's like, oh, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. He's not as dopey, and I like the dopey Herman. He's constantly like when he wakes up at night and walks down the hallway, his arms are out like some sort of Frankenstein's monster.
Mm-hmm.
He's really playing it up when it feels like he doesn't know he's doing it, but he does it. I like that. And yeah, they're still working out the like trends and the little tropes that they're going to start to fall into. I feel like they haven't quite nailed it.
Yeah, they still haven't really nailed it. So I mean, we're on episode 20 and they haven't even nailed it there yet. So
yeah, that's true.
They're still working on it, still finding what works and what doesn't.
I also feel like because we seem to be going in a couple like Grandpa leaves, and then there's another like Eddie gets picked on at school for something, and like there's these little waves. We started the whole thing with a wave of Marilyn going on these dates every time, and I feel like we should be getting another wave of those coming up.
Yeah, Marilyn date episodes.
Yeah, because again, Pat Priest hasn't had any yet, really.
That's true.
And so I feel like we're due for another cycle of those.
Kind of missed those. Yeah, that'd be nice to do that again sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this too, and nothing against Pat Priest because she's fine, right? She does a nice job. But Beverly Owen was really good. Like watching this trailer, I'm like, oh, she can act, and you're like, oh, you kind of buy what she says, and she's into the role. It's a shame that she couldn't make it work and do the whole run.
I agree. Yeah, I still like her better. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Pat Priest. They still haven't really given her moment. I feel like
no,
which is
like in Tin Can Man when they're all like doing the surgery thing on the robot, and Beverly Owens right in there for it and stuff like that. Like she like really seemed to fit in with what they were doing.
Yeah.
And again, it's only been like 4 episodes or 5 episodes that Pat Priest has been around now, right? Something like that. I imagine they have a lot of stuff written already, so I don't know, maybe she gets a bigger time to shine in season 2 when they're still writing new stuff.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But, as for her style right now, she still has like an accentuated reading style.
Yeah.
Which is what they would say. I still can't get over Eddie and his...
No.
That's the...
That was offensive to me. Like when I saw that, I was like, no. He's like growling up, like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, I get like that. I get that's like the first instinct you'd probably go with, but thank God they changed it because I don't think I could handle like millions upon millions of episodes of that. Oh, geez.
Was she sewing up a straitjacket for him?
She was.
And he looked like he really needed one in this
and
version.
he called it sissy.
Yeah,
he goes, that's sissy. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, he's just weird. He's not like I think you said something about this earlier, Derek, where it's like it's just not as wholesome as it should be. Like they should act a little more polite and normal than what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, it's just like frantic and like adrenaline rush weird. It's just like God, kid, what are you doing? He's sitting up like on the sconce, like he's up on the ceiling, which is a kind of an Eddie thing that happens, But like in this one, he's just up there, just look like he's ready to gnaw through the drywall. Just like, come on.
Yes.
I mean, it's almost like somebody said, "Hey, it's a wolf boy."
Yeah,
and that's their first thought was work. When the wolf man changes, when the guy changes into a wolf man, he's very feral and he doesn't, have control over things, and that's kind of what they wanted to lean into.
Yep.
I'm like, this is so just like, and to balance out, like, especially like, Phoebe is just very calmly being like, oh, well, you can go upstairs then.
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you. Turn into a frog. Like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, and it doesn't like upset Herman at all, right? He's just like, whatever.
Yeah,
that's my boy.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be more worried about you when you're surfing and learning guitar and studying and playing football.
That's right. Yeah, getting good grades.
That's
oh God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's say you were a TV executive and you were approached with this, and you have to like pretend like you don't know anything that's happened since 1965. Would you have said yes to this?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said earlier, I think the premise is so good that I think that there would be some notes. Like I still feel like even if I hadn't seen the Munsters before, that Eddie was just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. That was not going to cut it. But I think the whole idea of just a sitcom about a bunch of a grotesque family, like that's great. Yeah, why not? I think that's a good idea. I probably would have said yes. I mean, did I love it? No, but there's something different.
You see the potential at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I may have purchased the rights to it and then went out and got different writers.
Yeah, that's true. Like old Norm and Ed, like I mean, and like they hit their crew, right? It's Norm and Ed and Norm and Abbott directed.
Yep. So, I would have gone and got No Strain Bellamy right away. And been like, come on, buddy, let's do this.
Bring him in. Yeah.
I think based on the Eddie thing alone, you would have been like, guys, this sounds like a good idea, but you're really missing the mark.
Yeah. I think premise is 100%, right? Like you get that. Even if you sit down, like, what's the elevator pitch? It's a family. It's a modern day family. Like, okay, we've seen that, but they're made of universal monsters. You're like, what? Now you've been piqued my interest. The dad's a Frankenstein. The grandpa's a Dracula. And it's like, okay, I think I'm on board for this. And then if I saw this, I would be disappointed, I think.
Yes.
Because the premise just builds a lot in your brain. You're like, oh, this could be really amazing. And then you see that, and you're just like, oh. And I wonder, they say they shot in black and white to save money. I wonder if they shot in black and white to cover up the uncoverable in color. Right?
Maybe.
Like the makeup.
Yep.
Right? Like, we have to cover Fred Gwynn from head to toe in green makeup,
Yeah, that's true.
I always liked the fact, that it's in black and white because of like all the older Universal monster movies that were also in black and white. So I like that overall, I guess, the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked out for him for sure.
I like that too. I'm 100% down for black and white. Yeah. I'm just wondering if the black and white was it was a money saver, right?
Happy accident,
yeah, but also it's like, ugh. And we maybe don't have to put so much effort into the house, right? To make it look as creepy, because the black and white will make it look creepy.
That makes sense. Yeah.
All I know is when I was thinking about when they're like, I put head to toe Fred Gwynn in green makeup, I was thinking of that scene from Mallrats where Brody is questioning Stan Lee and wonders if when they painted up Lou Ferrigno, they even had to get his nether regions in case his pants fell off.
Yeah, because they'd keep that in if his pants fell off.
Exactly. So poor Fred Gwynn got to come in 3 hours early to get head to toe green. Yep. And I mean head to toe.
Just in case.
I want to know when they're at the pitch meeting and they're like, this is what we got. We got this Frankenstein monster. We got the Dracula, et cetera, et cetera. And everyone's like, okay, all right. Well, all right. Is there anything else? And their big like reveal of, but here's the twist. There's a niece who's just normal. Mm-hmm. And that's going to just, they're always going to have to refer to her as being the oddball and all this other stuff. Like, one of those guys was probably super proud when they were like to reveal that twist of the the idea. Yeah, I
think it's a good twist, though. I think it's a fun one.
Oh, It is. I'm picturing, one of the guys. He stands up and he kind of slowly struts around the table a little bit while he's telling them that.
Oh, imagine this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we got all these monsters. Everyone thinks it's weird. They go out. People think the guy's, the big giant red eyes. But get this.
Oh, and then screech. The chair gets pushed out. The guy starts to slowly stand as he says this.
He stands up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But get this. The niece, beautiful blonde. That people like to talk really close to.
That's a good selling point, too.
Yeah.
In fact, I kind of almost, as I was watching this, I was like, man, you know what? I kind of wonder, like, was there ever a thought to have the Munsters be more Marilyn like more of the like to have all the interactions with everyone around it, but like her constantly being like the thing that pulls people into the house a bit, I guess.
Like the main character or something. Like,
yeah, and like her doing stuff, and then them always coming around to like help her with stuff, and just be there and like help her at school and things like that, and it's just like constantly causing problems.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, they've definitely pulled that idea a few times already, so
For sure. Yes.
Yeah, almost like if they want, like in addition to like a movie, like if they wanted to do a new version of the Munsters and they just wanted to call it like Marilyn or something like that, that might be kind of interesting. Take like all from
Marilyn.
Yeah.
What a name.
I'd watch it. But,
so I mean, something
It's
more
like
than that, but it would be, but like more of her being the focal point and like all the weird stuff going around, and her trying to like deal with all the weird stuff.
Sure.
Oh, here we go. Like a Munster story, Marilyn.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Munster's origins, Marilyn.
Yes. Yeah. Let's do something I've never done before.
Ooh,
I've
what's that?
never done it, but I haven't done a microphone. Let's read comments from YouTube on the Munsters, My Fair Munster, Unaired Pilot.
Okay.
This one's from 3 years ago. From, I don't know. I'll always say their names if it's not the full name. VM Campos. This show looks utterly beautiful in color.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, okay.
25 thumbs ups for that one. And then we got another one here from a full name I won't read. I prefer Butch Patrick over Happy
Oh,
Durbin.
thank God.
Butch
Yes.
will always be Eddie Munster. Well, no shit. Butch is Eddie Munster.
Yeah.
Happy Durbin? Only one
Whatever
time.
happened to Happy?
Oh, Keith. No.
Oh, why didn't Happy make a song? That would have made more
Oh,
sense.
man. I should have been Eddie Munster.
Yes.
I played a feral wolf boy.
We gotta make it like a spoof of whatever happened to Eddie, but whatever happened to Happy.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to my sanity?
The feral kid from Mockingbird Lane.
Yep. So we're going from Mocha Witch. Phoebe is quite reminiscent of Morticia in the Addams Family.
Hey,
I
yeah,
agree.
There you go.
Here's one from Gojula. Grandpa Munster was on point already in the pilot. Thank God they changed Eddie, and Herman's character was definitely improved for the better.
Sure, yeah. Grandpa does feel pretty much the same. I would agree with everything he said.
Yeah. And then, finally, Pat and Steven, too. And they probably share Facebook, too. The humor in this is a lot darker and more intelligent than what wound up on network.
Interesting.
It's a shame the show was not pitched more like this pilot. A bit more sinister and more fun for it.
It's darker?
The only thing they're referring to then is the Eddie character.
Eddie, yeah, because everything else is identical to what appeared in the original episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I like that they made all the right changes.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. 1,000% on that. This one's
That is so weird.
yeah.
It's weird that some people are pretty warm on this. Yeah, I mean, it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen by any means, but it's definitely like I'd rather have watched the actual episode probably than the pilot.
I don't know. This pilot left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
Even after only watching, most recently the first 20 episodes of the Munsters. Woof. All right.
Yeah.
Should we say what would have broke Babysitter? Because Babysitter would definitely broke with this episode.
I think so she wakes up from her. I guess she lives in the Munsters mansion. I think
Yes.
she's got her own room and she stays with them. And she wakes up and opens her eyes and suddenly things seem slightly off, different than usual. It's all like there's so much more. It's more colorful than she remembers. She walks downstairs and she's like, "This doesn't look like the staircase. But what's going on here?" And she realizes that she's in some sort of Groundhog Day scenario, except for it's like relived through like an alternate parallel universe where Eddie is some sort of horrible feral boy and everybody's just slightly off and weird.
Yes.
And I think she realizes, first she gets trapped inside of some sort of animation Munsters world. Now she's trapped inside of this other alternate Munsters world. Yeah, I think that's really gonna mess with her.
I think so too.
man, I can't think of anything more obvious than just Eddie actually break. Like if she had to babysit that Eddie Munster, she would need the straitjacket that Phoebe was sewing up.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be dead.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. He would have ate her face
Yes.
in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah, him and Spot would have been sitting there sharing a babysitter snack.
Oh, just wearing her skin.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That Eddie would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'd fuck me. Jesus, Eddie.
Silence
Put
of
the
the
lotion in the
Lambs.
basket. Oh Christ! All right, I agree. Eddie would have broke the babysitter, figuratively and literally, if him probably running around on all fours, howling at the moon, breathing heavy, didn't do it. He would have tackled her and ate her face.
Yep. In this timeline, like, yeah, she never survived past the first episode.
And
No.
like, how could they even send that kid to school? That's got to be a note. Like the producer would be like, "How does that kid go to school again?" And they'd be like, "Oh, it's a good question."
Mm-hmm. There's a lot less writing potential with this, like,
Yes.
angry, yelling kid all the time.
Yeah, that's all they got.
How would the love potion have affected that version of Eddie?
Yeah,
Mm.
people out there humping dogs in the neighborhood. Jeez, Eddie, calm down.
Easy. Get the hose.
What'd you say?
Get the hose.
Get the hose. Yes. Oh, spray him down.
Mhm.
Well, that's a pretty successful run, huh? Don't you think?
Yeah. That went well.
I don't think we need to do plugs on a Patreon episode, do we?
No.
No.
The people know.
Sure, they know.
Surely.
They know
I
what's
mean,
going
just
on.
outside of just telling people to let their friends know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, also let your friends know.
Mm-hmm. Let us know if you want, like, anything specific covered on here or something.
Yeah,
If you got
something
ideas,
specific.
we're happy to hear it.
Munster Hunters at Munster Hunters on Twitter, at Munster Hunters on Instagram, at Munster Hunters on Facebook, munsterhunters@gmail.com, munsterhunters.com. YouTube is still a bunch of letters and numbers because we don't have like 200 followers yet or something like that. We're working on that. And then go to the Munster.
Use that email address. Send us in maybe some suggestions for the quiz. Maybe they have some people have researched stuff that they think would be good for your quiz there, Derek.
Oh, yeah.
Sure,
or
yeah.
ideas for any games. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just something. Munster Musta Been is something I thought of while I was watering the lawn yesterday.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. I even had a song in my head, but I don't remember how it goes. And I was like, I should go down and record that real fast. And
If you want to send us some fan art of what you think the table and the SCUMA and everything look like, that'd be great.
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Just
we'll take anything.
Fan art of what you think we'd look like.
Oh, yeah.
As Munsters.
Derek cowering from social interaction. Someone saying the words that I don't remember what they are right now, but those things, But yeah, all that stuff. And then I guess a couple of these a month. That's what it's going to be. Plus bonus stuff, plus other things,
Yeah.
which we don't even know yet.
That's
Oh my
right.
god!
Could be anything.
All right, should we sign offs different for Patreon?
Oh,
we
like
don't-
actually get it right?
Do we even sign off anymore? I don't even know anymore.
Intelligence and ingenuity.
Intelligence, pants, and what'd you say? I thought you said pants. They do not work here.
Pants don't work either. Yeah.
No, because it's always hunting season. Hey, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/Munster Hunters for more Munster Hunters action. That way you can check out what we got and you can help support the show. If you want to help support the show in other ways, be my guest. Feel free to tell other people about our stupidity because intelligence does not work. Let people know. Follow us on Twitter at Munster Hunters and Facebook at Munster Hunters, on Instagram at Munster Hunters. Follow our YouTube channel. Let people know where they can find some Munster activity. We don't take ourselves or the old show too seriously. We just have a good time watching it and riffing on it, and you can too. And anyway, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with a normal episode. Peace.